So you're 3 years into three, actually going on 4 years into your career, and
Yeah.
you talked a lot about career goals, and you mentioned earlier personal goals. What are some of the most important personal goals you think are for people that are starting their career for the first time? What are the things that they should be focusing on to take care of themselves on the other side that's not just their career?
I think the biggest one that people tend to like kind of overlook or not really think about um, is like financial, like set up some financial goals.
What
And
do
so
you
like
mean?
if
I'm an
you're,
engineer. I make good money. I'm going to be making good money for the rest of my life. What do you mean finances?
well, well, some people they look at that, right? They get a really good offer, and then it's like, oh my goodness, like I'm making more money than I've ever made in my entire life. Like I
Yeah.
can go out and buy whatever I want, and that is not the case. Like that is not the case at all, because you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're just going to be like just up to your eyeballs in debt, and like it creates a really stressful situation, right? And so like
Yeah.
if you want to have a successful career or successful like anything, you need to be able to feel comfortable and feel relaxed in like your home and with your personal life. And like a big one, like a big stressor in almost any environment is money. Like that is something that a lot of people care about and a lot of people struggle with. And so like you definitely want to make sure that you're setting up a good budget, that you're again, like kind of that 5, 10, 15 years in the future kind of thing. It's like, okay, well, where do I want to be? Right. So like maybe you graduated, you've got somebody that you've been dating or you've been seeing for a while, and like you want to, think about getting married. It's like you can't just like wedding rings aren't cheap, houses aren't cheap, weddings aren't cheap. So, like you have to set yourself up for success in that regard and really take care of that, or else it's gonna impact every aspect of your life, every single one.
Yeah. That's so true. I'm sorry I spent the entire time you were saying that trying to get a cough drop, but I'm
No, you're
concerned that I'm going to
fine.
be coughing this entire time.
You're okay.
But yeah, you're right. I think that your career success is definitely very tied to your personal life success. I mean, those are the two biggest
Yeah.
aspects of our life, right? So the things that you can do to create stability in one, I think it really helps you create the stability in the other. Because like as you're saying, like I mean, yeah, you can have a great for another example, you can have a great opportunity, but if you're not in a position financially to be able to make the leap, to make the jump, and go do the thing that's the best thing for your career, maybe it's you have to relocate and you have to just and you have to have a little you have a partner that's with you, and you want to have the financial flexibility to be able to rotate to a new job, and then have them figure out what kind of job they're going to get whenever you move, that kind of stuff. I mean, if you're not financially stable, then you might miss out on opportunities because you're not maintaining that financial stability. um, and
Yeah.
then vice versa, no, as you can attest to, I mean, no job is permanent, right? So
Right. I mean, as much as they like to paint the idea that, like once you're in, you're there permanently and they'll take care of you forever. I mean, like stuff comes up, stuff happens that,
global
even with,
pandemics.
yeah. So like, stuff happens in our personal lives all the time. Like you were just telling me about, you had like an $1,800 car fix or whatever that came up. And like that happens to us on our personal lives. That definitely happens for big businesses. Sometimes they're facing bankruptcy. Sometimes a project kind of goes sideways and they end up in a spot where they have to cut overhead or they have to kind of reduce costs in whatever way that they can. Or maybe they're just
Yeah.
struggling to get work at the time. And so like
Yeah.
that, yeah. So like don't take that for granted.
Yeah. Thanks, Luke. Thanks for watching this segment of the Engineering Success Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All those things really help me out. They boost me up in the YouTube algorithm, and they'll help other people see this great content. Make sure to recommend the podcast to your friends. You can listen to it on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcast content from. And make sure you leave me 5-star reviews, like all my videos, and consider subscribing on Patreon or Anchor. All those things help me out, and I really appreciate it. Catch you in the next one.
But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.